What's his status?
Well, as of yesterday, because I haven't discussed anything with the trainer today or Cook, you know, he said he felt better than he thought he would. He was walking around yesterday without any, you know, crutch or anything. So, you know, I think he's day to day. Is he going to start on Thursday? I would say as of now, probably not. Maybe not Friday. Hopefully we'll get him back by the end of the series or at the tournament. But, you know, it's sprained. It's a sprained ankle. There's nothing broke, and it's just a matter of him healing up.
How do you feel about Opitz and Plunkett?
I feel real good about Opitz. I mean, he's got a lot of experience. This past summer, he played with the Midland Redskins, you know, an advanced team that, you know, a lot of times the seniors, when they graduate, they don't have a lot of places to go play, and he was there pretty much everyday guy, came in and caught well in the fall. I think in a different situation, he'd have a lot more playing time, but with Grant coming back his junior year, obviously he wants to play every day, and we played him a lot. But when Opitz played, he played well. I think the issue is, you know, how's the stamina? How's he going to be in the 7th, 8th, and 9th? You know, is he going to hold up because he doesn't have, you know, just the time back there? So, but I feel good about him. He's a really good catch and throw guy. He's quick back there. The pitchers like throwing to him. He can block as well as anybody, and you know, hopefully he'll do the same type of job that, you know, Kinley did for us this past week and just step in and play.
Yeah, Dave, whether it's for the bullpen or the infield or now catcher, you've had guys that have come in and done pretty well as backups. How big has that been?
Well, it's huge at this level. I said it the other day after the game. You know, a lot of times at this level, you know, you have your starters and you have guys that aren't ready yet, and they can't, you know, just fill in and keep you close to the same level that maybe you lost. You drop down a notch because of experience or talent or whatever the case. But so far, you know, we've had guys step it up pretty good and have filled in and made plays or got big hits, and you know, you haven't noticed it now over a long period of time. I'm sure you would, but you know, for a weekend or a couple weeks, you know, I think we're okay. So hopefully these guys that get an opportunity to play last series of the year, big series for us on the road, will, you know, play good baseball and you know, get us ready to head to the tournament.
From what you've seen of Georgia, what do you think's contributed to the fact that they've turned it around this year?
Well, first off, just the experience in that lineup now. You know, they started 4 and 5 freshmen in that lineup last year, and you know, they got all nine position players back. And Scott Strickland's a friend of mine. We coached together with Team USA, you know, back in 2011, and he was at Kent State, and then he ended up getting the Georgia job. And he's a very good coach, a lot of talent. I mean, that state is incredible for baseball talent. Everybody's getting in there from that region, and you know, just think that it's the experience more than anything. The pitching's been a lot better, and that lineup is a little scary. They've got some guys that can hammer the baseball pretty good, and you know, it'll be a great series.
You're getting talked about as a potential national seed, and it's getting close to the end here. How much does that enter into what you need to do to get there?
Well, you know, I mean, we haven't talked one time with our team about it. You know, they know if we just keep playing and win enough games, and you know, we'll be in the conversation. That's for sure. If we win a lot of games, you know, it'll be easy. But you know, the strength of schedule, it's not going down. It's 5 or 6 now. Playing on the road at Georgia, they ought to go to like 2 or 3, and then you go to the SEC tournament, play more teams. We win some games. We're beating teams that are ranked. It's a neutral site. You know, it's there for us. It's not the major concern for us. I mean, we just want to win this series, and you know, I think that after this series is over, we'll kind of know where we're at, and if we still have work to do, then you know, we're going to do everything we can to win that tournament without hurting ourselves. You know, we know we're going to host a regional. We feel good about that. We know we're going to be in a regional #1. That's the main thing, and so I think the team is excited. I think they're relaxed. Just looking forward to heading to Athens and playing baseball.
I know you talked about wanting obviously do a little better on the road. You got one more chance. I think they're ranked 13th in the coaches poll. Just how big a series is it from that standpoint from the road?
Well, we need to play better on the road, win or lose. You know, I felt like we just played okay. We haven't done enough to win, obviously, and we've played really good teams on the road that are good at home. I mean, you think about Ole Miss and Florida, and then LSU. They're tough to beat at their place. And, you know, we just didn't finish series there. We had a chance to win them, and you know, Mississippi State, I think we just had a bad weekend. We had a bad day. We had to play 2 games in one day, and you know, we had a couple injuries that day. Shaddy didn't play. He didn't get to finish his at-bat. That was the biggest at-bat in game 2 the first game of the doubleheader. And it's just one of those weekends. I think most teams go through it. I think every team's pretty much gone through a bad weekend except for Florida, and they just got so much pitching. It's hard to get them twice in a weekend. But you know, the players know where we're at. I don't think they're looking at the past. They're just, hey, we got to move forward and let's go down there and win the first ball game. Let's try to win this series, and you know, we'll go from there. We're not stressing out about the road at all.
How much does winning the West mean to this program?
Well, you know, I mean, everybody wants to win your division. That's just part of being a competitor. I don't think it's the main thing. Our main thing is we want to get to the World Series, but you know, it'd be a nice step. It'd be something you could talk about. You know, you got a chance to win the West. You got a chance to win a tournament, regional. And if you win that, you get to continue on. So there's a lot of things out there that we can still accomplish.
Who do you go with at short amongst Biggers?
Well, right now we're going with Kinley. You know, Biggers is still extremely sore. He didn't hit yesterday. We had some live pitching yesterday with hitters, and he didn't swing the bat. And I don't know if he's going to practice too much today. I think probably his plan right now and the trainer's plan, from what I knew on Sunday, was just let's let him just try to recover and heal a little bit until we get down to Georgia and practice tomorrow. So as of right now, I see Kinley starting and I see Opitz starting.
How about Hunter Wilson? Is he still at first?
I see Hunter Wilson starting. Yeah, he did a good job. He made a little bit of a wild throw, but everything was good. The technique was good. He just made a wild throw. Other than that, I thought he played really good defense. He brought energy. He was tough out, and you know, I see him starting game 1.
From batting average perspective, Kjerstad and Martin are 1 and 2 among freshmen in the conference. What have you thought about how they've been able to, you know, not only do well but sustain it all season?
Yeah, you know, a lot of times the freshmen, they'll have a good week or weekend, or you know, good week, bad week, whatever. But those guys have been pretty consistent. If they have a bad day, they usually bounce back, and they've contributed all year with their bat and their glove. Martin's such a threat on the bases. He can score from first on just about every double. He's fun to watch. And then Kjerstad, I mean, he's just one swing away from putting on being able to drive the ball out of the park. They both are, really. So they bring a lot to the field. They've been a threat. They've both driven in runs, I think. But what I've been most proud of them is that they've been able to maintain it. They've kept their head on straight when they've had a bad day, and they both had some bad days, but that's part of the process. There's juniors that have bad days, so it's fun to be able to see those guys, you know, playing every day in this league at this level, and knowing that they'll be back for a couple of years, and we can kind of build that lineup around them a little bit, and hopefully some good players are going to want to play around those guys and show up here this next August.
It seems like in the fall they started this pretty quick for you, you know, from that first week.
Well, Kjerstad showed right when he got here what he could do, and we kind of felt like a couple weeks in that, you know, it was going to be hard to keep him out of the lineup. He was going to have to, you know, fall on his face, which he never did. And a lot of times young guys, they might. And then with Martin, we saw the talent. He didn't see it. He wasn't having as great a fall as, you know, maybe Heston, but we knew, the staff, that he was going to play a lot. And, you know, he didn't start the first game of the season, but after that, slowly got in and out. And then once he got in, we left him in.
Obviously, you wouldn't recruit those guys if you didn't think they were good, but have they surprised you at the level they've played at?
Maybe a little bit. I think any coach would you know, almost be, I wouldn't say lying, but maybe you know, if they said, oh yeah, we thought we were going to do that freshman was going to do that as a freshman, I don't think so. They got to go out and do it. You never know where kids are, and mentally, can they handle it with everything that's going on around them, with academics and social and friends and people pulling on them, and they just can't handle it. And those guys have done a good job because they're focused. They're more advanced mentally than a lot of freshmen. They feel like they're good, and they're pretty dedicated, and they know what they want to be, where they want to be in a couple of years, and that's being positioned. You know, it's after here is have a chance to play pro ball at a high level.
You were out for each one of them. When you were out recruiting them and got them signed and got them here, what expectations did you have for them coming in? to their freshman?
I felt like both of them would contribute as freshmen, and maybe a lot, just depending on, you know, at the time when we signed them, didn't know what was going to be here, who was going to come back in that situation, because it's almost year to year now with the draft and, you know, just things that go on. But once we walked on campus in August, you know, we felt like that these two guys, and maybe another player or two or pitcher or two, could really help us with a team that was a little bit older, with a lot more experience than we've had in the past. And they stepped right in. I think the older players accepted it. They saw the talent, and they saw that in the locker room these guys were good. They weren't in there telling everybody how good they were and what they were going to do, because we've had freshmen do that, and it usually doesn't work out too well. They just kept their mouth shut, worked hard every day, and went and proved it with the way they played, and that's the way you go about it.
You remember having two freshmen that good on one of your teams?
Well, maybe not. Not here. I mean, I had a couple pretty good ones at Nebraska. Our second, third year there, we had a couple freshmen really step in and do well and put up some good numbers, and a couple of pitchers that have done really well in the past. And you know, you think about Nick Schmidt. He came in here and pitched on Friday night as a freshman. And you could go on and on. There's a few other guys, and, but as far as everyday players, it's pretty difficult.
With Cronin, how do you see using him, trying to work him back into that?
Just got to get him back into shape. You know, in perfect scenario this past Sunday would have been him to come in with a 3 or 4 run lead, you know, and just pitch the ninth. But you know, we just felt like the game was getting ready to get too close or out of hand. We just wanted to bring him in. You know, probably keep him to 30 pitches or under. He'll build back up. It was a hot day, first time out. Build him up a little stronger this week, and you know, if we had to use him twice this weekend, you know, it needs to be maybe an inning at a time or 2 innings, get him out, and the next day, you know, maybe for a hitter or two.
You think it might end up being a net positive that his little lull that Losky and Reindl had to close games out?
No doubt. They got to go in there and step it up and prove it to themselves and the team that they can get it done. You know, Losky's the one who really, you know, came in, and I think Texas Tech was kind of like, yeah, there he is. And then after that, you know, he's been really good. And Jake has had a couple of good outings as well. And then he was good. His first outing, his second outing, he got the double play ball, but he was tired, you know, and he admitted he was gassed. So he has a little trouble bouncing back. He's better probably 2 days in a row than having that day off, then he gets sore. So, but yeah, to answer your question, there's no doubt that having, you know, someone go down, in this case it was Cronin, who had been our guy that kind of getting us to the end of the game. Some guys had to step it up, and they did it.
How would you sum up Casey Murphy's season to this point?
Been great season for Casey. You know, we didn't know if we had 3 starters or not. You know, we skipped him opening weekend to basically save him to pitch against Arizona at a neutral site, and I think he goes out and we beat him 1-0. And Kjerstad had a home run opposite field at night in California, which is very rare with the way the air is. And you know, ever since that game, we knew that he was going to be the guy, you know, and then we slowly rolled him back into the weekend, and, you know, he's been pretty consistent. He competes. A lot of times, you know, the first inning you get through that, he rolls. You know, he struggled at LSU, and then he shut him down. He gives us a chance to win, seems like every time out, and he gives us innings. And, you know, we can figure out what we need to do to win the game.
What's your overall level of concern that you got a couple of dings and bruises, and even Cole seems to keep hitting balls off his foot?
Yeah, his foot's been bothering him for a month now, and you know, it's been a little rough. But you know, we just ask the guys that are banged up to be honest with us. You know, how bad is it, and we'll go to the next guy. And we've had guys step it up. I mean, you know, if we were in a super regional and we were 3 guys down, we'd be really concerned. But at this time of the year, obviously, we want to win the league, but we just want to play well, and we feel good about the guys we have. And I think that the young guys, they get the sense that the players are okay with that, the guys that play every day, and that the coaches are good with them. We're not walking around all nervous and on edge because we got Casey Opitz catching or Jack Kinley playing shortstop. It's not an issue to us. Yeah, you know, you lose some experience, you may lose some power, definitely at the catching position, but as far as the defensive part of it, we feel pretty good.